that way.
Sí que para adelante, ¿eh?
Actually,
So you leave the front bolt.
on that version.
¿Sí es para adelante?
Well, on this one,
Not on that.
What are we doing? Taking both out in order
So
to...
we're changing over, right?
yeah, we're changing over
To what?
The seal has
to the smaller.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta take all those bolts out. We gotta unhook the heaters, thermocouple.
¿Se quita?
Yeah, it's like you said, there's not too much
¿Del
to
aire?
it, so you gotta.
Where to suspend the air? Do we have a...
We actually have connections up there on this one. We can disconnect it right up there.
No, it's aquí. So the connections are airtight, so they would
Yeah.
stay in.
Shut it down, it's like hitting the east on. Yeah. You also have
Then we
pressure,
need
if you
to
use air
unhook
pressure,
these.
pressure switch on here. If it
Ya
goes
después necesitamos desconectar estos.
you off to, it might even be 80 here, I'm not sure where they said on that, but. That's that.
And usually I like to get all the inserts out. It just makes it easier when getting the head out. But once we get the head out, then maybe we'll pull those two inserts out too.
All right.
¿Qué tal la llave que tiene hecho usted?
We can pull all the inserts out too.
Oh, it's 2 and 2, so this is back in 2 over there. These are Harry, and these are vacuum generators also.
Oh, so these are making sure that.
And this one's how we know 1 and 2, it doesn't matter?
I'm gonna get a sticker on those.
Okay.
Unless you make a big mess, and then they all get dirty, and you got.
And those I like to pull up to the back here.
Yeah, be half as loud.
So what's next to
This
pull it
is
out?
the hardest part because I gotta climb in the machine to do it.
All right.
And usually I lift it out and set it here. And then usually then there's somebody out here to get it out of the machine onto a ladder because it weighs like 65 pounds.
65 pounds.
I can do the first one just to show you what I do. Some people actually get a little crane because they're so heavy. And just the fact of how you have to do it because it's so far in there.
Would it probably be nice to have something to, if we want to handle,
Well, we've,
to where we can actually...
physically, unless you climb in the machine, you're not gonna be able to do it by hand. Unless you climb in the machine, because it weighs that much.
Or something to hook it up with
Yeah,
the crane.
we've actually made a plate that people screw an eyelet into, and then they have an overhead crank that they use.
Machine has either.
Because unless we start sending these guys to the gym,
Well,
they're not going to be
we'll
able to
see.
do the changes.
I could show them how I do it,
Deja que te diga.
but I got longer legs too, so this may not work. It may.
When you guys going in with?
So now that ladder you're gonna put right here. And then from there, whoever's out here can take it to the ladder. Right to the ladder. Because it's pretty heavy. And actually,
Right now,
squares.
right now it's going to be hot, right?
It's warm,
Yeah.
Going in with squares.
¿Cuál es la que quieren correr?
The small round one, right?
Yes.
Small round
All
one?
around.
Yeah.
This one, yep.
A ver si es cierto. ¿Va a ir al gym?
Yeah. That's okay.
That's later.
Heaters to the outside.
Let's
Go
connect them.
put hands in there and take it out. And I like to actually
Now remove the
insert.
2 inserts first.
Yeah, that's
Rotary cables and.
we need a pick to get the O-ring off.
Yeah.
There's one on the table.
Top plate is not.
If you give me the pick, I can get the O-ring on. I like to take all the inserts out first.
Give me.
Yep, there's a slot. Yep.
I'll hold this.
Yep. That way the head isn't clanging on the inserts and the blades, and
The one
Because when you take the
damaged.
air off, the head drops down.
Yeah. It's not a spring loader like the other one.
No. All right, now we're clear. So basically, it gives us a little more wiggle room too. All right, that's the hard
Tiene
part.
que quitar los inserts para poderlo meter.
Now, that's the hard part. Ladder back over here. But that's not something I really would recommend either, you know.
Para limpiar
because,
la mano tiene que-
outside of here, everybody's got their safety standards, and that probably wouldn't pass any of them.
Yeah, that's true.
But with the tip-off head, we have actually made a plate that bolts the top of here. It's got a threaded hole in the middle that you can fasten an eyelet to, and then bring a little crane over here and lift the head out.
But still, we have to disconnect everything.
Yeah.
And what about for quick inspection, like
The quick inspection, we're looking at the tilt back part.
Yes. Yeah,
Where you
that's
can tilt it back and you'll be able to see the plates from this side.
yeah.
¿Cuál es la?
Número uno, la de aquel lado. Which one is number one, Joe?
The one he's got. This hand.
This.
Yep.
Yeah, esa es la número uno. Yo pienso que where is the easiest spot to put the Joe, where is the easiest spot to change all the inserts?
What's that?
The easiest access to change the inserts. Where do you usually?
That side and probably that corner, unless we got conveyor there.
Ahí donde estás. Es la
I
mejor.
usually do it over there because you got 4 pockets you can reach.
And now we have to disable the seal and
Basically, you're going to turn everything off.
off. Dropper, leveler, filler off. Okay, heaters, leader off. Okay. Yeah, because there is some instances that I asked them to change all the inserts without the seal head, and then in the end,
I like to do all the inserts and the pads first because I'll forget about one and then I'll have the wrong pad size on for the insert. And that's why I do those first. And plus, getting the sealer out, not banging against the insert.
yeah.
And then I won't put the new pads and inserts in until I have the seal head and dropper on, the heavy stuff on. And then I'll do the inserts and pads last while the heater's heating up.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Because it's too easy to forget something.
Yeah.
Lay down there. Because I've forgotten to change like the push-up pad, still have the big one on with small
And
insert
boom.
and push the inserts back out.
Yeah.
They're fine till they hit the floor.
Yeah.
Then they get damaged once that happens. Especially like the off-end pads, since we had cups in there, probably a good idea to pull them off now.
Yeah.
Because
have
when we
a leaky?
rotate the machine, it's going to want to fire.
Yeah, cause
Can you get that one out?
yeah, cause of this. Tiene que ser una llave.
Yeah. Yep. We can move that back.
Hay que quitar estos. Se van a poner los pequeños. Pero vamos a decir que lo haga para que ustedes vean cómo lo hace. Hello, sir. How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good. Good to see you again.
Yeah, you bet. Been a few months.
Yeah. It's been a few months. Lovely machine you got
You bet.
for us.
Just basically, since there were cups in there, when we rotate it,
He's gonna want to
the
trigger.
off-end's going to want to
trigger,
fire.
yeah.
So we want to,
Change all the pads before we even turn it on.
At
Yeah.
least get the big ones off.
Yeah.
And basically these, if there's a shaft on it, it stays with the part.
Yeah.
So basically each one of these will have a shaft with it, and the off ends, they have a certain shaft with them too.
Yeah.
And they're marked off ends, so. Should just have to loosen that, should slide back.
Ya nada más aflójalos poquito y ya. Apúchalos para atrás, no tienes que...
There's just 4 of them. Most time they'll probably just tighten 2 of them, which is fine. It's not going anywhere. Plus we gotta move that for the small cup. So.
Just that one line that's in there, but I don't see that. You can see there's a gate right there.
And if you have parts for the litter, for the rounds, basically you'd be pulling the whole plate off and whatever vacuum head.
Yes.
That fits that.
Hay que cambiar los pads primero. Hay que cambiar estos primero, mira, todo esto. Would you well,
Yeah.
then yeah.
Yep. I don't have them that tight. They're tight enough where they're not going to come loose.
Okay.
I didn't use a wrench on because I know they have to be changed out. So
Okay.
basically be that one, these 2, those 2, and those 2 over there.
Okay, todos los 4.
Sometimes we have customers, depending on how the parts are, sometimes if they know they only fit the 1 cup, they have them all in like a
One beam.
either storyboard or bin or something.
Yeah. And then they bring the pin.
Yeah, but these are all marked, so that does help.
Yeah.
Because
See.
basically you're going to take this,
And we actually engrave them, so that way.
Air pressure.
you can mark them however you got them. I got these marked off end, all large.
And then the heat of that.
I mean, they're tight enough where they don't come off, but they're good where you can get them off.
Yeah.
Basically, we got we're going to the small cup. So these,
We're missing one, right?
and we don't lift the small cup
Oh, you
because it's so
don't?
short.
Oh,
You
okay.
probably don't either, do you?
No, not on the one that.
Okay, so
we're-
it's just off end and dropper.
Alright.
Mark drop 2.3 and off end small. Because eventually, if you order more parts, you might, hey, this one works for that, you know, or
Yeah.
I've seen that happen a lot.
Lordy.
Picket place. I think that one's set up for the square leg, so when we go to square leg, we'll I think that's the only cup that's over there.
Right now,
Yeah.
eventually they're getting parts to run the round lid in the pick and place.
Yeah, so when we get to square leg, we'll see the picket place, so that's operating. That's pretty cool.
La dos es la de este lado, la uno es la de... Because I la dos es la de afuera, la uno es la de adentro.
You'll see it.
En este caso esta es la 1, esta es la 2, pero me imagino que como esta sería la 1 y la 2. Pero dice que
Le iba a poner también un encima marcado. Esta es la 2. Esta está aquí la 2 y esta es la 1. Pero aquí la 2 está fuera.
And this, actually, move it in, because
I
sometimes,
got the same adding keys.
yeah, you run into the same thing probably. Except on yours, it's not easily adjustable, is it?
Estás acá, sería 1 y 2. Estás acá, es 1 y 2 desconectándola. Y tú la puedes poner como tú quieras. Es lo mismo, es muy estable.
They don't have to be super close.
Yeah.
I don't want too big gap there because the cups like to tip down into it.
La cosa es que cuando le quieras dar a una o a otra tienes que saber dónde está cada.
'Cause usually it's hard to bridge a 2-inch gap with a small cup.
Yeah. Hay que quitar todo esto de aquí, miren.
All inserts are changed, except for 200 sealer. We'll
Yeah.
have to rotate the table to get those. What else?
Now it's a round one?
Yes, little one.
Okay, and after lunch we are going to do the square one.
How hot do you run the smoke out? Same temp? Or-
Yeah, same time. ¿A cuánto?
Nope.
No, 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 eso no va.
That's,
No, en ese no se necesita, en el pequeño.
that's the 6.5, nothing for this one.
Would you also include them? See if I want to see if it's included. There's not the little ones for the little one because we might end up running something in the future that it's very thick and we might need that lift
Okay.
and we might never need it, but it's always good to have it.
Add that to the list.
What was it?
Vamos a poner en la lista push up for small cup. Push up for small cup. ¿Quién tiene la lista? No sé quién. Push up for small cup.
En español.
Los levantador de
Para vaso chico.
para vaso pequeño. Porque lo tenemos que pagar aparte.
O aparte. Pero eso casi no lo usamos.
No, pero estoy diciendo que si se necesita en el futuro.
Sí, ¿verdad?
Algo duro. Digo, no, bueno, necesitamos empacar esto duro. Entre más duro esté, menos se despega. Entre más aguado, más con más fuerza sale. All right. Let's turn the table to put those two inserts in.
Yep.
Dale a la máquina nada más 2 cycles para poner los inserts de aquel lado. Los que están debajo de la máquina. El verde. Nada más el verde.
Para que queden accesibles. Pero de allá con aquella ventanita puede, de allá para acá puede. Sí, es otra cosa que esta puerta no abre. Cuando ya vayan a arreglar eso, van a tener que destornillar eso. Le ponemos el feo.
I'll see how they load the cups.
Sí. Necesitamos cambiar el de Nester también para esta pequeña.
Preguntaba ese nombre derecho y me dijeron que no.
I was gonna see how they load the cups.
Yeah.
Then it's like the other one, it's got these 2 cups on top.
When they do create a lot of play over here on the other one, on this one is typed in some they create some play over here. What is it that works out? This Joystick W.
Is it got the same parts?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes it's a little, not too much, but yeah.
It might be just getting these to a point where there's not a lot of play there. These are pretty good on the top 2 especially. worst case, you may, rather than trying to, and there's not a lot of wear on these, but worst case,
Flip them.
possibly, you just need like a shim washer, basically, probably.
Yeah, it could be a shim one because we've never.
Or maybe it had all the play to begin with and it just never was. Normally you don't want a lot there, it'll lean forward.
Y al menos ahorra un poco de, it saves a little bit of room when they have the cylinder on the inside.
No, vamos a poner el plástico de nosotros, el otro. el que tenía.
Quitamos
We're gonna change the film.
To
Yeah,
what
that
you guys
one.
saw?
Yeah.
That's it right there.
Este era.
There's tape on the table there if you want to slice it.
Aquí, aquí hay tape.
¿Qué tal, Juan? Ok. Está la navaja.
Yeah.
Ah, pues lo que se está haciendo lo hará Javi. A ver si lo que
You want to put the small rock barrels on?
a ver si
Yes.
Just for the process part of it, you know?
Yeah, just to, so they know how to do it.
And I guess whatever size you want on there, the medium or the small, either way. But usually if it's this cup, I would run the small size.
pa hombres, güey.
Ponlo del otro lado primero, José. Ponlo de allá para acá, ponlo al revés. No, al revés, así pon este primero acá y después lo puches de allá para acá. Ponlo aquí primero.
Pero el resorte lo tiene aquí.
No, no importa, es más fácil.
No, güey, ¿cómo crees?
No, pues
No, es que necesito quitarle este.
ponlo al revés, el resorte. Ese resorte puede ir como quiera, ¿no?
I just gonna do it that way. Yeah. That'd be a little easier.
Thank you. All right.
¿La traes tú?
We'll do some cycles and then we go.
Ya lo saben.
Se lo acabo de prestar. Y tiene vuelta, De una vez.
No, va a tener que exacto porque está muy bien.
Hey,
¿Qué lo traigo en la mano?
¿vas a hacer de pedazos o qué?
Sí. Un pedacito.
¿Ya o más?
Pero échalo un poquito para adelante porque no se vaya a romper. Dale ahí.
Easy peasy. Lemon squeeze.
We put a pixie glass. Just para que no haya splash. Falta un vacío. Drywall. Don't damage the drywall. Splash.
Ya tiene la medida.
Sometimes we have the FRP.
La genérica era la americana esa.
Sí, los números como debe ser.
Aquella olla se tarda una hora, ¿cuánto se tardará eso? Que aquella olla se tarda una hora por cada bacha, sí, fácil dando horas. Este punto casi no se hace, pero
More? Full minute.
Wow, damn it.
They are used to it too. Sometimes. Si les pasa, ¿verdad?
See, these will go right down the angled chute, but those big
Yeah.
ones, they wouldn't like that.
I thought you guys disappeared. I mean, it sounded very quiet.
They're on break.
¿Por qué se fueron a break? No regresaban tan rápido. Así debería ser allá.
Así, así.
Ir a comer con un embudo, ¿no? Llegas, te pones ahí, ¡blup!
Yeah.
Y vámonos.
Cuidado ahí con la.
Yeah.
Está saliendo aquí.
Está regulando el aire, fíjate ahí. Fíjense ahí que le regula un poquito el aire.
Ahí, mira.
Aquí mismo. Cuidado. A eso me refería. Si no se le regula el aire, cae mal en vaso y mira cómo queda.
Yeah.
Yo lo que pasa.
That's what we were referring to.
Yeah.
¿Qué es lo que pasa? Sale, pega, se sale.
Pero una de esas se le puede abrir acá y una de esas se puede poner por aquí.
Es mejor que le pongan.
No, ya regular una se regulan las dos porque tienen el mismo.
There we go.
Got about a full turn, Joe?
Well, I just went because they weren't popping no more.
Yeah. I was watching how much you're moving.
That's where the switch comes
Yeah.
in.
Turn.
Yep. Because there's a limit how slow you can go too.
And the reason I told you I don't want them to be touching this is because sometimes they try to adjust it from there. Get stuck on the top, it's not coming down.
Basically, whether the switch is there or here, if it's here, we'd have to,
Con este papel sellan bien lo que sea.
it might fit in here. Worst case, I'd have to run a cable with a couple more wires in it.
Claro.
But,
Ponerle una que pegue aquí, termine aquí arriba. Que sean las tres estaciones, igual nada más son tres envases. Este, el de tubo y el de Gotangrin, que es cuadrado. 1, 2 y 3, no tiene más envases.
I could probably fit it in there.
Alright.
That's not terrible. And then what else were we talking about?
The conveyor, the lid,
Yeah, the conveyor, we have to get you a price of the plug. We'll just throw that in.
and
The flip up, there's not much to that. It's just the sides would be different because how we have to route the airlines. And then basically, so you got the head, you're gonna pull the back two bolts out. There's a handle you have to attach to the head because to flip it up, it's pretty heavy. So you need something to grab onto that's not gonna be hot. So there's a handle. There's push release pins. Basically, before you take the air off, you put some blocks in to hold the bottom plates up. There's some white blocks that'll go in up top to help keep those from dropping because when you take the air off, it wants to drop down.
It wants to drop.
So you put some blocks in, there's some big push pins, there's existing holes there. We got a video on it. We got a video we can show you. Dave will have to send you the video. I don't. But basically, there's blocks that go in here under these to keep the whole head from dropping once you take the air off. And they pin in right there in them holes. There's just a push pin. And then there's a handle that attaches here with another push pin. It's got a big handle out here because to flip the head up, it takes a lot to flip the head, and that's going to be hot, so you don't want to be grabbing that. So basically a big handle you pulled up, and then you put, there's another hole up here. Once you get it flipped up, you put a bolt back in and it holds it up.
Makes sense. Nice.
Yeah, could you for sure send us that
Video. Yeah, we got video of it. So basically you have to unhook the airlines. The airlines will actually be, these won't be here.
That will be necessary.
There'll be a, yeah.
Maybe not.
No, we have to have that.
There'll be a slot here that I want, the connections for the airlines will be out here. So all this won't be here.
Yes.
So you still have to unhook the airlines, unhook the heaters, so you have enough length to flip it up, and then you attach your spacers block and the handle and pull it up, put the one bolt back in to hold it up, then you can take your picture.
The exit,
Maybe wipe it off too,
Yeah.
whatever, while you got it
the
flipped up.
exit cylinder will not be in the way of flipping it.
The what?
The push exit
It's-
cylinder.
It's, the bottom of the head's gonna flip up this way.
Okay.
So the bottom of the head will be facing out, so you don't need to climb in the middle of the machine to see it. It'll be facing outward.
Okay. But when he lays back, okay, never. Yeah, when
Yeah,
he
it's
lays
gonna-
back, it will not interfere.
So this bolt stays in, you pull this one out, and as you flip the whole thing up, there'll be another hole here to stick back in to hold the head up, and the bottom of the head will be facing this way.
Got it. Okay.
Si no se puede que ese cilindro en vez de que vaya así vaya para arriba.
¿Cuál cilindro?
Ese.
El de la palita. El de puchar.
Porque en vez de ir para allá vaya para arriba.
Something like that. That's pretty much the gist of it.
Porque para calibrar la salida cuando se tiene que calibrar
We probably got videos of that and the
no
autoloader.
va a haber al menos dar la vuelta por allá o subirse.
O abrir la
No,
puerta.
aquí.
Abre la
So,
puerta.
yeah.
Es mejor aquí que acá, porque aquí, si te fijas, el de que se queda aquí siempre está bailando mucho. Y ese que realmente casi no se ajustaría para nada.
We've done it before, so there's
Pero sí se
We'll
tiene
figure
que
that part
ajustar
out.
la presión también.
That's the
Porque
kind of
el vaso,
was,
el vaso grande no va a ser el mismo pucheo que el vaso pequeñito. Lo va a estar así.
Lo que pasa es que se le
it'll
puede
be a
poner,
little bit, it'll be high enough.
eso se le puede
That's
poner
pretty
aquí.
much the concept.
Se le puede poner un bloque que lo detenga y
We
aquí
did
se
it
baja.
on a
Aquí
large
se-
sealer,
¿Te gusta a ti eso?
but pretty much the concept's the same, you know. Take the one bolt out, unhook everything, put the handle on, flip it up, put one bolt in the hole.
Because the whole assembly is heavier, isn't there like a different, easier way to lower the everything without?
For the fill height, we got jack screws right there.
You just, you loosen it up, bring it up, and then loosen those bolts, and
The
then
one you
with
have doesn't have
yeah,
any jack
so you have
screws.
to lift it by
This
left
has
it.
jack bolts
This
there.
way you will be able to do it. So that's what that.
I usually loosen the bolt. I won't loosen them all the way. I loosen enough where I can make it move with the jack screw.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, oh yeah, I did. It's like
Because this-
when we went to this, we need something
Mm-hmm.
other than a pry bar. That looks
Yeah.
kind of. It works, but you know, it's.
No, we go in the
You have to
machine.
move it up and down a lot.
Yeah,
or?
a lot.
Okay,
Yes.
for each product.
Yep.
Sometimes it splashes too much and you have to be kind of low,
Yeah.
let it drop.
Yeah, I got this high on purpose. It's normally not this high, but I wasn't sure where you guys might
We
like
run it
so
almost kissing the.
quarter-inch off.
Yeah.
Go, yeah.
That's what you like
Okay.
to run too, though. That's what you.
Yeah, well, some products they tail, so it depends.
Yeah.
Please, I've seen some where they'll tail off that far, so yeah, it can come down so it touches if it needs to go that low.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's adjustable. It's all the way up right now.
All right.